Bessacarr 412. Bessacarr 412, it's a 2.3 litre diesel weighing at 3.5 tonne and it's just under 6 metres long. So what we've got here is where we put a fresh water to go into the freshwater tank. This is a hatch for underneath the bench seats. We then have a 240 electric point. Here's the flue for your heating system. And then we've got the cassette toilet, which is slide out. Don't forget, any type of resistance with a cassette toilet is because you haven't closed it on the inside, so don't try and force it. Just go inside and close the toilet inside so it slides out nice and easy. And as we go round to the back, we've actually had fitted a tow bar on this with also a 2 bike rack as well. It's got an electric step which does retract when you do start the engine. Here's where the gas goes. Diesel. And this particular motorhome does have an Omnister awning. Shall we go inside? So as you can see inside, this is a 2-berth motorhome. You've got your bench seats here, which will pull out to make one big bed. We do have the swivel seats, which will swivel around. Great panoramic sunlight, and then lockers. So towards the back of the van we have microwave, a 3-way auto finder fridge by Dometic. And then at the back here we have hobs, grill, oven, with which we do have a hot plate. And then going into the shower area, bathroom area, we have a separate shower with cassette toilet and wash basin. So this is 130 brake horsepower on a Fiat Ducato chassis. We have aircon. It's a 2.3 litre. Okay, now we've got to set the Bessacarr up. So first port of call, we have a fresh water where we can put all the fresh water in. Then we move on to the 240. So we've put a 240 hookup in. And then we can make our way round to the other side of the motorhome. So we now go to the gas locker, and what we do now is we put the gas on. Now this has got an anti-crash sensor on it, so we must hold in the button for about 3 seconds for the gas to go through. So what we've done now is we've done 3 things. We put a fresh water into the freshwater tank. We put 240 into the van, so basically anything that needs a plug we can use there, and we've also put a gas on. So now what we've got to do now is to prime the van up and get the van all ready. Okay, in order to set the van up, what we need to do is to wake the Bessacarr up. So what we need to do is to go over to the control panel. So here's the control panel over the door. So if we put the power on, as you can see, that's telling us the leisure battery there. The light there is showing that we're working off leisure battery. If I do press vehicle battery now, that means we're using the vehicle battery, which we don't need to do. That's just in case of emergencies. So if we go over to leisure battery again, that means we're using the leisure battery. The light here is telling us that we've got 240 plugged in, so we've got power coming into the van. And then what we've got here now is we've got the fuel levels. So that's telling us leisure battery, that's telling us vehicle battery, that's telling us how much fresh water we have in, and that's telling us how much wastewater's in. Now we can also put this on here, that's an awning light. So now that's on, our awning light is on outside. And then the button here is cabin light. So as you can see, that all the cabin lights have come on. You can use that then, if you are going out for the day, you can just switch it on and it'll isolate all the cabin lights. We also have a frost protect in the freshwater tank. So if we put that on, that's got a little 12 volt heater in the freshwater tank, and just stop it from freezing over when it's cold. So we did switch a gas on outside, so we need to draw the gas through. So the easiest way to do it is through the hobs. Now if you have swapped your bottles over, it will take a little bit longer for it to come through, probably about 3 or 5 seconds. Well, now we've got the gas through, going through all to the hobs. So now what we need to do is we need to prime the water up. So we put water in the freshwater tank, we need to get water now into the hot water tank and prime it up so we can use the hot water as well. So first thing we'll do is we'll open a tap, and then we'll put a pump on. Then what we'll do is go to the control panel and we'll put a pump on. So what's happening now, we're sending fresh water out the freshwater tank to the hot water tank, which it'll prime up, which normally takes around about 2 minutes. As you can see now, we're getting water coming through. Still hear the pump, and now the pump's gone off. And then what I tend to do now is I just come into the bathroom and then just do the taps in the bathroom. So now we know we're all primed up. Truma system, the Truma hot water and the heating. So in order to get hot water and heating into the van, we'll go to the Truma panel. So what we've got, as you can see the flashing one there, that is heating the inside of the van. The second one over is for the hot water. The third one is our source, whether we're using gas or electric. And the last one is your blown air. So we can either have it on eco mode to blow the air through the van, or we can have a boost where it'll blow it through a lot quicker. So if we go over to the first, what we could do now, we can pick the temperature that we want inside the van, and it'll go right the way up to 30 degrees. So we'll pick that one. Okay. We also want a water on as well. So we'll switch the water on. Now you can either have 40 or 60 degrees, which we'll pick to 60. And then we can pick a source, whether we're using electric 2, we can use electric 1, we could use a mixture of gas and electric. A mixture of gas and electric on 1 kilowatt, we can use gas only. So because we're hooked up into electric, we'll OK the electric. And then we want the blown air going through. We can have eco, or we can have it on I, which we'll put on eco. So what we've got there is we've got the heating inside the van set to 30 degrees. We've got the hot water set at 60. And we've got it on electric. Now the reason why they are flashing at the moment is because the heating inside the van's not up to temperature, and also the hot water's not reached a temperature. So again, if I do want to change my source, electric 2, I can move it to gas only if I wanted gas only, and OK on gas only, and then it'll heat the van up and heat the hot water on gas only. So if we move on to the fridge, it's a three-way fridge. It is a self-seeker. Probably find the last source I was using. So I switch it on, and as you see, it's gone to electric. So now we're working off 240. Now I can adjust the temperature. So that's on the lowest, medium, and then high. And then in order to use the other options, we've got the gas. So that's the gas now. And I don't know if you heard that, that's just lit. And then we also have got leisure battery, which is designed from going from one campsite to another. And as you can see here, we've got a fault now press leisure battery. The reason why it's faulted out is because it'll only work when the engine's started and we're driving along. Because it uses a lot of power, the fridge does, we do need the engine running and the alternator charging up the leisure battery. So again, I can go to automatic and it's going to find electric for me. So we've got cassette toilet now. So here's a cassette toilet, and to get the flush to go around, we come up to this button, with which we press, and that sends the water around the cassette. And then we do have a flap on the side here, with which we can open, and then we close it. Now that's not fully closed, it will close again. So if you haven't fully closed it, you will get resistance outside on the cassette toilet. Now in order for the flush to operate, it does work off the pump, the main pump in the van. So if you haven't got the pump on in the van, then the flush won't work. But the heart of this motorhome and all the workings for it are actually underneath this bench seat behind the driver. So what I'm going to do is show you everything there. And basically underneath there is everything that you'll need. So what we've got here is the Sargent EC400 power supply unit, and here we have the 12-volt fuses, the spade fuses. And then here we have a standard 240, there's your trip, and the separate fuses there. And then what we've got here is, this is the charger, so when the hookup's plugged in, it's charging the leisure battery. I can also switch it off. And then here we have the heating and hot water. Now this is quite an important one, because if you've got the power coming into the van and you want to use your heating and hot water on the electric, this must be switched on. If you've not got it switched on the Truma system, it will fault out when you try and use the electric. What we have along here is a battery charger. It's a 3-stage battery charger. And then underneath here we have a leisure battery, which there is an option, and it's big enough there for putting 2 leisure batteries if you want to. And then also what we have here, I don't know if you can see this, this is our pressure pump here for our water system. So now to drain down the water system, and it's good habits to get into when you're not using the motorhome, especially draining the water heater down, when it gets rid of stagnant water, and it's just good habits really. So the way we do that, just let me show you, it's in the wardrobe. Now you can see over here, we do have an access panel here for the water heater, but to actually get at the drain tap, if you can see here, we have to pull this out. We'll lift this up here. Now here we have the water heater, and then I don't know if you can see down there, We have a yellow lever which we can lift up. So I'll lift that up and that drains the hot water down. Right, to drain the freshwater tank, what we've got, let me just lift this carpet up. We have a hatch here. If we lift the hatch up, we have a secret type of compartment. And then we have another hatch here, which I'll just push this forward. And then as you can see down here, this is our freshwater tank. And then what we have a bung in the tank. And if we lift the bung out, that'll drain all the water out of the freshwater tank. So the last drain off now is your waste tank, so that's everything that goes down a plug hole. So it's driver's side, just behind the rear wheel. And here we have a tap which we can open and close. It's closed now, it's open, and that drains any wastewater in the wastewater tank.